All right, I have the Wurth NP here, which is also the same parts as the Avis E20. Got it from Decoder. So it has that wonderful laser etching of what it is. I have decent bidding. God help someone who has low cuts here and high here. A very paracentric keyway. The only tools that I found that I can actually work my way around this paracentric keyway are the multi-pick tools. Everything else has just too thick of a neck, very hard to maneuver around. So I've had to use two of these picks. This one, the only one that I really need to do it with is actually the number 3 pin. So I've picked this multiple times. I'm trying to get this to be as fast as I could run. So I'm going to talk you through some things. Just like any lock, you'll be able to do locks like these. I mean, you might need to progressively pick them. I didn't have a problem with that, but learning the kind of the order that worked is trying to get me my fastest pick, right? So I'm going to talk you through some of it first, so that way you know what I'm doing. When I pick this, there's usually the first one that binds is number 4, so I'll feel everything switching 4. I have to be light pressured and very slow to not overset it. You'll get that nice little click. When I get that, I check 5 and 6, and there's usually nothing binding there. And then I go back, and I'm going to show you that just because that's a good habit. I'm going to come back up. 1 won't be binding, and then 2 is normally binding. I will set that. If I get that correctly, then 3, so basically now you have 4 and 2 set. 3 will be still not binding, and then 5 won't be, and then 6 will be binding. So then I will set 6, and if I do that right, I'll get into a false set. That'll be my first kind of false set. What happens is the tool is too big, too flat. So I wind up actually oversetting 3 normally. And when I lighten up the pressure a little bit, it'll click and I'll get into a little bit deeper false set, which then lets me get ready for number 3. I will then hook into 3. And if I do it right, I have to actually float it. So I have to actually manually manipulate it and rotate it back to get it into the proper position. And then when it gets to the proper position, I get a good click. If I put pressure back on there, I might have to do 5. 5 sometimes gets set when I'm doing number 6. So 50-50 on that. And then the last one left is really manipulating 1. And 1, I also have to float back. So I will actually have to also take some of the manually rotate it back. I don't use 2. I just kind of float it. I have to manually rotate it back, click in the position, and then 5 will set if I didn't accidentally get it. So sometimes I'll set number 1 and it'll rotate, and sometimes I got to go back and 5 will finally be binding, and I'll set that. So that's the order. I will be calling it out, but I'm just letting you know that's kind of the order. If you miss anything, don't think that I have not done this a zillion times trying to get a very fast speed. So I'm using bottom of the key, and we'll be starting now. So nothing on 1, nothing on 2, 3, 4 is binding. Got that little click. Nothing on 5, nothing on 6. Go to 1. 1's not binding. 2 is. I don't know if I got binding. Let's check 6. Okay, so I did set that because now 6 is binding. And there's that kind of rotation. 1, 2. So I'm going to release it. I've overset number 3, and now it clicked and went a little deeper. So now 3 should be what I'm targeting now. I'll know because it'll start to rotate when I touch it. Going into a deeper false set, and there it is. Now I'm going to kind of push it down. I'm going to manually bring it up just a little bit, very slow. And there's a click. Pushing back the pressure and seeing if that was successful. Checking 1, checking 2. Okay, 5 seems to be binding. And there's a good click on 5. So now hopefully, yep, 1 is rotating. I have to manually, very slowly. So I'm going to use both fingers to kind of control it. Okay, I think I got that. Not sure, going back. I'm going to let off, and it's number 1 again. Very slow. I just heard some clicks, so that means something fell. Checking 5. Okay, I got 5. We're back to 1. 1's kind of rotating. Okay, and we're open. So as you saw, I put that 5, and then that 1, I really had to kind of float back. All right, so that's good open. Let's get this out of the way. Put that frame, put this device out of the way, and let's Take this guy, get him centered, pull him out. Okay, here's that wonderful laser engraving for Dakota. Thank you for that, Dakota. Thank you, it looks really good. I'll let you know what you're picking so you don't forget. Let's open this up. Okay, let's try not to shoot this across the room. Has that happened? Sure has. So let's grab this and kind of rotate it and get it into, I just locked the lock, by the way. Actually, I didn't lock it, I just put it upside down, so that sucks, but I'll deal with that in a second. So I keep forgetting that the core is rotated. So I'm gonna bring this under here so you can see I put it backwards. I'll just take the hook, flatten it out, and rotate it back. That's the way it belongs. Okay, so now this is ready to take apart. So we will grab this, bring this around, and get you out. All right, we'll put the core here for now. And I'm going to give you a close-up on the pins. There's those pins. All 6 are in there. So let's drop them out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this a little bit more in. Just for a better view. There we go. All right, so let's drop these out. So here is 1. 2 fell out as well, so I'll just leave it there. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. And there is 6. Put that there for now. Let's organize this mess I just did. So this is 3, this is 2. You got torpedo key pins on 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so those are in there, good. And then I'll show you here too. You can see there's actually no edges. It would be way more brutal if these actually had little edges, because then when you overset, they wouldn't come up. So my advantage of me realizing that my tool overset one of them, releasing the pressure, let it come up without it penalizing me. If this would have been like a goal P, I would have had to restart all over again. That would have been extremely difficult. So let's show you inside here. All right, first one is a spool. Next one is a standard. Next one is a spool. Next one is, let's call this like a serrated, not quite a barrel, but I'll call it a serrated. Next one is a barrel. There's your barrel for you. And then finally the last one is a standard. Of course the springs are in there, so if we want to show you those, there's your springs. Okay, I'll give you a close-up of that so you can take a look. Here's your close-up. So from the bottom, standard key pins is set for 4, 5, and 6 for torpedoes. And then you have spool, standard, spool, kind of serrated, barrel, and a standard. Again, if there would have been some milling in there, or counter milling, I can't remember which was which, but if it would have grabbed those torpedoes when I overset, although 3 is the one I overset, so technically that would have been forgiving on that one. So if these were kind of counter milled and I happened to overset 3, that would have been more difficult. But that's what I got for you.